So the point of this video is based around some discussions had about conquering the reptilian aspect of the brain. When I say conquering the reptilian aspect of the brain, I don't actually mean destroying it. But the reptilian aspect of the brain is it's the reason why we have instincts, why we can, well, instinctually it's fully involved in flight or fight. It's involved in a lot of things that serve us. However, it's also involved in a lot of fear. And it is this fear that, if too much power is given to this aspect of the brain, will result in the acceptance of using anger to manifest battles in which you will win. DhaChi Yam, DhaChi Yam. Beyond instincts, there's not so much we want to conserve of this part of the brain. And maybe in time it will actually fiddle down to nothing but some sort of instinctual reactor core and not have any effect on our emotional states and our emotional bodies and deeper things in our lives. But right now it has a very large effect. And it has a very large effect on society as a whole and on the global evolution, from dating back hundreds of millions of years to when the dinosaurs were ruling the earth, and the queen dinosaurs were performing extremely large magical rituals and ceremonies in order to protect their offspring of their clan, their eggs. And so the Illuminati are tapping into specific magics that are related around the same blood spilled as the blood that had to be spilled when the dinosaurs had to be wiped off the earth. Playing into a lot of these bigger DhaChi Yam. Thus giving your time to banking situations, to Wall Street, to general media organizations, and to NSA, national security organizations. Giving your time to the problem is not really where we're going to find the solution. And to be honest with you, one of the greatest aspects of the mammal brain is that the telepathy that a mammal can experience doesn't have to be on the same wavelength of the telepathy that a reptile can experience. And by this I mean the reptile can't really experience telepathy unless it's in danger. Danger is around, the reptile will heighten their mom might suddenly realize the danger's around, then all the children realize the danger's around. Mammals, the same thing. If there's danger around, our senses go up, our perception gets heightened. But we also have this ability in calm times. We also have this ability when we are in like a void of contentment. Clearly, I'm going to say we have various parts of the brain wired to have this ability when in danger. So when in danger, this ability is the strongest for us. But focusing on where we are evolving is going to focus our evolution. And focusing our evolution will get us through these tricky, confusing times a lot faster. That's probably what we want to do, because you can't escape the trickery of these times, because there's all these new things are coming into our constructs, and all these old things are interacting with these new things. And where the old meets the new, there's this change. But what part of the old should be carried on, and what part of this new maybe shouldn't be accepted so fully, what part of this new needs to be fully accepted? These are very tricky times, and it's very confusing for all of us, and nobody should just believe otherwise. Believe that, oh, this answer presented itself to me and I'm going to be dead concrete in that, because you are just setting yourself up for the potential danger that you create a belief that that thing is really good, and then a couple years later there's enough evidence to show you that actually that probably isn't the best thing for you, but you've already this belief ingrained in you, and then now you can't get rid of it, and then it just could screw your life up a bit. So with so much new information, so much new senses, abilities of perception, with so much new stuff, do not let anything become a belief right now. Don't believe angels are good even. I'm not even gonna say what I was gonna say. You know, don't believe anything except that angels are good. You can certainly accept this being is trying to, you know, remember, this is my guardian angel. He's obviously giving me good advice. I think he's good, and I'm going to listen to his advice, but there might be a time when, you know, that advice, I'm sorry, it's not. And if you've believed it, fully believed it, and all of a sudden you're so connected with that, well, I need his advice. Well, that's where there's an issue. So yes, do not believe anything right now, because where we are going, nobody actually knows, because we are manifesting it right now. And so the parts we all play in just trying to hold the most integrity, and I say the most important thing you can do right now to help your communities, help your families, help the world in this spiritual ascension, is be the most honest and open as you possibly can. Stop hurting yourself by keeping things you really think inside, or you really feel inside, just because you think it might rub wrong with somebody in your family. You know, because right now we need to be with integrity. We need to, if not put the danger of bringing us to the path that we are God, you could say God granted, soul granted, given to take, just because that our human ego has simple fears that, you know, that okay, upsetting my family could hurt them, and you know, me telling my friends this might make me lose my friends. Well then, you know what? If it might make you lose your friends to tell your friends how you really feel about life, then maybe you're supposed to lose those friends so you can move on and get new friends. And the people with integrity, and the people with vision, and the people who are going to be the founding mothers and the founding fathers of the new world are going to be those who stick to their integrity. So be proud of that, and be in your light. Be in your light. A good way to know that maybe a situation isn't working out the best for you is that you constantly have to catch yourself before you say something that you feel. no matter who's it with. If it's at a job, if it's at your house with your wife, if it's at your house with your parents, if it's in your house with, you know, your husband, if it's out, if it's any situation, if you are finding yourself stopping saying what you really feel about any subject right now in these situations, because one reason or another you are not upholding your integrity, and it is the most important for your soul that you uphold your integrity. Upholding your integrity is what is going to shine that light, that is you, onto the world, so others looking for that beacon, somebody who's truthful, somebody who's honest, and somebody who knows what's going on, somebody who hasn't bubbled themselves in, because that's scary. The world changing is scary. That the world's not gonna change in a couple years and everything will be, that is scary stuff for most people, and they don't want you to tell them that. They don't want you to tell them that they can be so much more than they are, because if they were so much more than they are, then they would have to accept the world is changing, and then they would have to accept everything that they've lived in their entire lives is just not what it used to be, and they're too attached to things, items that define what is this? I don't even know. I'm picking up items. They're too attached to little items or memories, situations, experiences, relationships. They're too attached to these things that they consider them, and they haven't let go of that to see that there's actually a infinite, never-ending light inside of us all, and that's what we are. And these things we just choose because they help us express that. So, in your choice, in your power to choose, you should not be choosing people, anybody, any situation, experiences, nothing that is going to limit the amount of you that you can express with the world. And I say that with caution, because while you are learning about you, there are some parts of you that you will want to hold inside and process and work with and integrate. You can do the integrate mudra. It's a nice one. And if things aren't really integrated into you yet, and you start blah blah blopping them, and you know, you can feel really good, and that's good, and you can get feedback, but it can affect people. So it's not like a seal the deal. If you know, I'm saying, you get what I'm saying. If it's in a situation, something you really feel and know, and you feel, oh, I'm gonna be quiet again and again. And again. And then it's like, well, when are you going to talk? You know, when are you going to talk? And if you're not talking and you're not changing your friends, so I could talk out of something else about stocks and the economy. I'm actually very knowledgeable in this, and talk about, you know, actually I can't talk about any job. I've kind of been a self-entrepreneur for my entire life, so I mean, you know, there's cool things to chit-chat about. Everybody can chit-chat about cool things, you know, and it's also important things to chit-chat about, and not everybody can chit-chat about important things, and everybody should be able to. So if everybody around you can't chit-chat about important things, something to think about there. Anything else for you today? DhaChi Yam Buddha's my cousin, Krishna's his brother, Kuan Yin's my DhaChi Yam. DhaChi Yam. DhaChi Yam. DhaChi Yam. Yeah, me and Buddha, we out. Holy Land status. Sup?